Ladies and gentlemen of Oracle's Board of Directors, thank you for inviting us back to speak with you further about the ethical issues related to Mark Hurd's current employment with Oracle as your co-president. Once again, my name is Amber Monroe, and I'm here with my colleagues Laura Simmons and Alan Beadle. Now first, Laura will speak to you about the ethical dimensions of the case, and then Alan will go into the ethics of our proposed solution, which is to terminate Mark Hurd's employment.
Thank you, Amber. So ethics is the main issue surrounding Mr. Hurd's resignation from HP and being hired by Oracle. According to one ethical model, the moral character of an action depends on the extent to which the action helps or hurts people. Actions that cause more benefit than harm are right, and those that do not are wrong. Therefore, an action is ethical if it causes more benefit than harm to the most people involved. In the case of Mr. Hurd, he has been acting unethically for years. If he is allowed to continue this unethical behavior at Oracle, it will cause more harm than benefit excuse me, to the people involved and is in direct violation of Oracle's code of conduct. As you know, Oracle has a code of conduct in place that it expects all employees to follow. It specifies that employees must act ethically and with integrity in all of their business dealings. Yet, Mr. Hurd has been acting unethically for years as CEO of Hewlett-Packard. Now, I'll give you some more information on this background. So, first of all, Mr. Hurd used HP company funds to entertain a former pornographic actress. He took her out to many dinners and falsified expense reports. This led to $20,000 in billing discrepancies. Now, in 2008 alone, Mr. Hurd received over $25 million in cash compensation from HP, yet he chose to steal $20,000 to carry on a personal relationship. This shows his lack of ethical decision-making. Furthermore, he was in a leadership position as CEO of HP and is currently in a leadership position as co-president of Oracle. Now, the leadership of a company sets the tone at the top of the organization. This ethical tone affects all employees. Mr. Hurd sets a bad example for all the employees that he supervises. There's some new information that has come to light since Mr. Hurd was hired by Oracle. It was found out that Mr. Hurd leaked confidential information about HP's plans to acquire Electronic Data Systems Corporation. This type of leak could lead to insider trading and sanctions by the SEC. As a matter of fact, the SEC is currently investigating Mr. Hurd's departure from HP. They're investigating this leak of confidential information, his falsified expense reports, and whether he destroyed documentation related to his departure. If these allegations are proven true, Mr. Hurd is going to face serious punishment and there will be negative consequences to Oracle. Even if these allegations are not proven true, the entire investigation is an inconvenience to the company, causes more harm than benefit. Now, the last piece of background that I'd like to give you on Mr. Hurd's past is that he has been named in a lawsuit brought against HP. This lawsuit alleges that HP paid bribes to government officials in order to secure $97 million in government contracts. Now, in a related but different lawsuit, 10 of HP's board of directors have also been named. The board of directors has been accused of failing investors by rewarding Mr. Hurd for allowing HP's employees to engage in illegal activity, this bribing of government officials. Now, if HP's board of directors is being sued for Mr. Hurd's unethical behavior, that puts you, Oracle's board, at risk for similar lawsuits. We do not want to see that happen. Mr. Hurd has shown that he will engage in unethical and illegal activity to gain business. And while this can have short-term financial benefits, the long-term costs are tremendous. Now, as you can see, bribing government officials, leaking confidential information, falsifying expense reports, these are all in direct violation of Oracle's code of conduct. Now, that was a bit about the background. I'll talk about the present situation. We are aware of the ethics involved in terminating Mr. Hurd's employment and his personal rights. Although these legal investigations are still underway, we have conducted our own investigation into Mr. Hurd's past behavior at HP and current behavior at Oracle. In our meetings with him, he has shown no remorse for his past behavior, how it has affected other people. We have no reason to believe that his moral compass has changed over the last year. So therefore, there's a serious current risk for him to stay at Oracle. He has confidential information about HP's trade secrets, and it is a very likely threat that he will use this information to benefit Oracle. If he does this, it would have financial benefit for Oracle, but it would be unethical and illegal for him to do so, and will have long-term negative consequences to Oracle. So as you can see, this is an unethical problem that needs a solution, and now Alan will discuss why the most effective and defensible solution to this problem is to terminate Mr. Hurd's employment.
Thank you, Lara. In advocating our solution, we considered the alternatives and came to the conclusion that the most ethical decision was to terminate Mr. Hurd's employment. More benefit than harm will result from taking this action. All of the negative legal and financial consequences that Lara has mentioned can be avoided, and any fallout from this can be mitigated and minimized through clear communication with all the stakeholders and a clear transition process. We have considered Mr. Hurd's personal rights and believe the solution is fair to him. Again, as Lars mentioned, we conducted our own independent investigation and obtained assurance that there was basis to these allegations. Part of this investigation included an interview with Mr. Hurd so that he had an opportunity to defend these actions. And as a result of that information, we eventually arrived at the conclusion that this was a fair solution. The other alternative to this course of action is to retain him with close monitoring and supervision. We believe that this is not ethical for the reason that the cost of doing so to the company far outweighs the benefits. The benefits are small because we see that it will not be effective. Mr. Hurd has such a consistent pattern of skirting the rules and finding ways around the procedures in place that simply having greater supervision will not be sufficient to deter him from doing the same thing in the future. In addition, there is a very real likelihood that the level of supervision and monitoring that is needed will invariably violate his privacy rights, which will cause harm to him. Moving forward, Oracle needs to take steps to make sure that a similar ethical situation does not happen in the future. Part of this is about implementing the code of conduct thoroughly throughout the organization, including with you, the board of directors. Certain members of the board have close personal ties to Mr. Hurd, which is not in itself a problem. But in reviewing his documentation related to his hiring, we noticed that certain due diligence was not carried out. Certain vital questions were not asked, which could be somewhat related to some of those personal relationships. If those procedures had been properly carried out, these ethical issues would have been identified at the time and this situation could have been avoided. Moving forward, we need to make sure that in all hiring situations, the code of conduct is a crucial element, and that all employees, regardless of their relationships and their personal backgrounds, whoever they are assessed to make sure that their past conduct is in accordance with Oracle's code of conduct, to make sure that a similar ethical problem does not rise in the future. Amber will now deliver our closing remarks.
Thank you, Alan. So as shown in the number of lawsuits HP is dealing with, unethical decisions can easily cross the line into illegal actions. So ultimately, such illegal actions can have negative financial outcomes, such as bad publicity, legal fees, and fines. So having Mr. Hurd as a co-president of Oracle will do more harm than benefit for Oracle's shareholders, Oracle's employees, and the company as a whole. Therefore, the best action to take is to terminate Mr. Hurd's employment. Thank you.